So I just got done reading The Walking Dead issue 148. And I'm just going to point out some things that stood out for me in this issue. And this issue is a nice build up, even though it feels pretty fillered compared to that issue where when Rick found those heads on the sticks, you know, like of every Alexandrian on the, you know, all their separate heads on the sticks. Like after that, it seems like the issues we've been getting are very calm. Like it's just all calm issues, and it looks like this issue is building back up to something intense, because I mean, like obvious, right from the jump when the issue started, I mean, I knew that Lydia wasn't going to shoot Andrea. I just had a feeling she wasn't going to do it, but she was frightened. I mean, like, she has every right to be scared. I mean, like, everyone wants to use her for bait, you know, to go against the Whisperers. So, I mean, you can't really blame the girl for being defensive, and she doesn't know who to trust outside of Carl. So, and then Andrea wasn't having it. I was like, man, you better put that gun down right now. And then Carl points the gun at both of them. Like, really? Like, you point the gun at Andrea first, and then you pointed that back at... Okay, you pointed at Lydia, and then you told her to put the gun down before you shoot her in the arm. But still, I mean, like, that's the... What? Second or third time you pulled a gun on... You know... On a loved one of yours... Out of you know, respect or loyalty or you know, this girl's safety. I mean, but anyway, and what was interesting is when the Alpha was crying and one of the Whisperers caught her crying, and then he warns her or gives her advice saying, if you don't want to be challenged, don't let anyone else find out about this. So she took that as a threat, so she stabbed that motherfucker in the throat. And then one other Whisperer said, I'll have the body processed. I don't know what the fuck that means. I mean, I don't know what they mean by that. I mean, what does that mean in their code? What's interesting about that is when it reminds me of Dawn in the TV series, and you know how some people, you know, in her group were questioning her leadership in a way, and they thought, and then some even wanted to challenge that, you know, here and there, like, you know, like people are, you know, concerned and everything about her leadership and everything, and then they want to take her out of the equation and so on. Well, some may want to take out of the equation, and some may want to take her place, and, you know, like, I mean, that's, you know, I mean, like, it almost reminds me of that when I read this issue, when the Alpha was in that situation. It almost reminded me of the situation that Dawn was in, you know, before her demise. But yeah, I mean, that's a nice little comparison there. I'm surprised no one else picked up on that. And then Rick is setting up a meeting with the Alexandrians and telling them that he wants to have the Whisperers spied on and see what their next, you know, what's their game plan, you know, what's their next move, and then come up with a plan from there. And then everyone's bloodthirsty, they're not liking that shit, and then it turns into this crazy brawl, like this crazy little riot, you know, over that, you know, over, you know, Rick's decision. But well, before that, they turn to Maggie because they know that she executed Gregory without hesitation, and so I guess they're hoping that she would speak against Rick, but she didn't. She is actually supporting this decision, and that causes a riot. And then everyone's punching each other, and then everyone's knocking each other. Everyone's, you know, just tearing each other apart. And then, you know, Rick is like, you know, just looking around in shock, and Gabriel's sitting there in the middle of it, like, good lord. and Jesus comes to Maggie's aid. I love how they have that friendship where he backs her up, and like whoever you know attacks her or even thinks of attacking her, he just takes care of her, like, you better step off, motherfucker. But I see, you know what, to get off topic again, I can see Maggie having that kind of friendship with Aaron in the TV series, because I see that. Excuse me, I see that potential there. Like from that previous episode that they aired, episode 5. Where you see them both on the run looking for Gwen, and then I mean, you feel that dynamic. You feel that friendship. I mean, I feel like Aaron is gonna have that kind of friendship with Maggie in the TV series, just like she has that friendship with Jesus in the comic book series. And so, Rick is like overwhelmed with the whole thing, and then he finally shoots his gun like, and I can't wait for Andrew Lincoln. I'm gonna try to say this in Andrew Lincoln's voice. Let me see here. I'm gonna try to pull up the quote here really quick. See if I can look for it here. Hold on. Looking for it. Yeah, like the next person that throws a punch, I'll put them in the fucking ground. Understand? That was a bad, Rick voice. I usually sound better when I'm impersonating Rick, but guess tonight is not one of those nights. But so he's overwhelmed with this whole thing, and then he goes to the basement. I'm like, is he going where I think he's going? And he's going to the basement. He's going where Negan's cage is, and he tells him, "I need your help." And then he stands there with a cocky grin on his face, like he's really waiting for this to happen. He's just smiling at Rick like like seriously. I mean, Jeffrey Dean Morgan's gonna do a much better job at that, making that face than me. So, I mean, I don't need none of y'all to tell me that. So, anyway, yeah, that's a good way to end the issue. I mean, like, it's gonna build up to some more drama going on. Now he's going to Negan for advice or for help. I mean, like, what does that mean? I know from the cover of 149 that eventually is going to lead to Rick letting Negan, where he feels like he needs to let him out of his cage. Like, what could possibly happen? What can happen so bad that he had to let Negan out of his cage right now? Anyway, and I wish, I mean, like, I honestly wish these issues were a bit longer. I wish they were like, they had pages like this thick, like that. I mean, like, they could have crammed at least 2 of these issues together in one issue and just let it all be there instead of being a lot of filler, issues. You know what I mean? And I also like yeah, I like how it's getting to that point where Negan may have to step in, and then it'll get interesting, but we can't trust this motherfucker. We can't trust him. I mean, I'm sure he has plans to double cross Rick at some point, but he's earning his trust right now, and that's why the cage was open, in one of those issues, and then he still sat there. He didn't leave. He could have walked out, but he just sat there, and that's what's scaring me for Rick. I mean, I'm scared for Rick. I mean, like, that he could have just walked out of there. The fact that he didn't makes him more terrifying to me. And I wish he would have. I mean, I don't know if he told. Let me know in the comment section. Did he tell anybody about the Alpha, about all those walkers at the Whisperer's disposal? Did he tell anybody about that? If not, then I wonder why the hell did he not tell them that? I mean, like, he could have just told them that at the meeting, like, she has a shitload of walkers, so, don't provoke her, and she warned us, she would let them loose if if she smells any trouble coming their way. I figured, you figured there would be, more about that. You figured there would be slightly more cooperative, like if he told them that. But anyway, it is a pretty good build-up, and I hope all these, like I said, like with those filler issues after seeing all those heads on the sticks, I hope it leads up to another rewarding holy shit moment, all these filler issues, and And I have a feeling it's going to lead up to that because Maggie's going to be pissed when she finds out that Negan's out of his cage. She's going to be pissed off at Rick. Oh my gosh. And then I think everybody's going to be pissed off at Rick at this point about letting Negan out of his cage. Everybody's going to be pissed with him and start questioning his leadership as well. But it may lean towards that the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of thing. But I don't know. I mean, like, we gotta see next month, right? Oh man, I wish these issues were longer. So if you liked my review, thumb up the videos, and if you're new to the channel, hit subscribe for more awesome videos to come. And I cannot wait for Jeffrey D. Did I say I cannot wait for Jeffrey D. Morgan to step in as Negan? I cannot wait for Negan to get on the show. I cannot wait. Till next time, Nerdy Blasian signing out. Peace out, guys.